Hey everyone, this is Alisha Costanzo and welcome back to my channel. We are going to be playing my tabletop TBR game. And just as a note, you're going to notice it looks a little different this month because I decided to play with what I plan on using all next year. And because it's my birthday month, October, I decided to give it a go this month just to test it out, just to see how it looks, see how it's doing for me. Honestly, it is essentially the same pieces of the board and it just looks a little different. So anyways, reading's going okay in September, kind of, sort of. I had a really good beginning of the month and then I got hit with a lot of work. So trying to catch up in the last couple days of September. We'll see if I need a punishment or not in a vlog. So alright, without any further ado, let's get to roll number 1. Alright guys, I played around yesterday and made a new one of these, a new tabletop game. I'm going to revamp these guys too. Probably not to the end of the year, but since October is my birthday month, I wanted to give this a try. Will it be consistent for the rest of the year? I don't know. It's essentially the same things, it's just it looks different. And I liked it, so I wanted to give it, I just wanted to give it a try. So we're giving it a try. Right? So let's do this month's rolls with roll number 1. 8. I'm going to pick one of these guys. I did not shuffle them beforehand, so I just like to do that occasionally. And set in the past. That works for me. And what the things I want to read next month. Alright, so roll number 1 is Set in the Past, and I have the perfect book for this. It's been on my holds list for a while. It is called The Beekeeper's Apprentice by, I think it's Lori R. King, and I chose this book. It's been on my wish list for a long time because a friend of mine who is also a colleague of mine at the university read the series, was reading it, was talking to me about it, and I'm like, I need to read this book, and I finally found it on my library, and so it's been holding for a while. This is a historical fiction that has Sherlock Holmes as a mentor to a young girl, so I don't really need to know anything more than that. I love Sherlock retellings. You can see one of them in the background here by Colleen Gleason. I love them. I even read the original Sherlocks just to like get some bases. Wasn't quite a fan of the original as much as I like the retellings, but I love a good Sherlock retelling. So that is what we are going with for Set in the Past. Let's get on to roll number 2. Roll number 2. 4. Since this is a stop anyways and roll my die, that works perfect. I got a 5, which is a series to continue. So roll number 2 is a series to continue, and we will get my wheel going so that we know what series we are continuing. I don't have them all like written properly on there, so you know. Okay, so it says Starflight. This is the title of the first book, or it might be the title of the series, but number 2 is Starfall, and this is by Melissa Landers. I don't really know if I remember much about the first of this one, but I do know that it's sci-fi. And I know that's so helpful. It's so helpful. If I'm remembering right, this was a young girl trying to escape and like tagging a boy along, and they got in a whole bunch of trouble, and then of course cliffhangery stuff at the end. If I'm thinking right, it could also be this AI one that I was reading. And I'll try to let you know which one of those it is on the screen when I'm editing this. But I'm actually really excited because it's a duology, and so I'll actually be finishing the series. I do like to be able to finish things occasionally rather than just starting new ones. So I'll let you know in a vlog how this goes. I'm actually going to have to read the book though with my eyeballs. And we know how well I do that at that sometimes. So, alright. With the vagueness of that roll over, let's get on to roll number 3. Roll number 3 is a 6. This is complete a challenge and add a roll. Alright, well, not going so great, but let's see what challenge we get. Reread challenge. Okay, I can do that. I've got some plans for that actually. It's roll number 3. It's a challenge read plus 1 roll, so I'm up to 7 books this month. It'll be okay. It will be okay. Hi, Mr. Graybeard. It's my snake next to me. But my challenge, I got the reread challenge, which I am all for because I just got a book in the mail not that long ago for this. Ooh, let me go grab it really quick. Okay, so this is a book far, far, far from my past. The Ground She Walks Upon by Megan McKinney. So this is actually the first ever romance book I read when I was 12. My grandmother gave it to me while I was in the hospital. My mom was having surgery. And I devoured it and learned to love romance other than just subplots and horror, which is what I usually read at that. I mean, I grew up reading Goosebumps and Fear Street and R.L. Stein and Christopher Pike and all of the things that were very horror, and slowly got into like fantasy and sci-fi and romance. So I'm going to reread this and see how I feel about it now versus when I was 12. I do know that something my grandmother says, and this is like a little over 400 pages, it's not. It looks thick, but it's actually not that bad. My grandmother loves romance, and she's like, I just skip over the sexy bits. I love the sexy bits, honestly. I mean, my 14 book series, literally half of it's sex. So I just had a comment from Goodreads that this is a sex plot. I'm like, there's other plot stuff too, I promise, but yes, half of it is sex. So I am hoping I really like this. I do remember one specific scene in this that is a sexy scene where there's some fondling and mouthing things through clothing. So and that's all I remember of it, other than it's like I think Irish or Scottish. You know, I don't know. It looks like it's one of those two things. And there's like potato famine thing going on. I will let you know in the vlog, because I will be vlogging my process through reading at least 3, possibly 5 of my childhood favorites. So this is it just childhood or is it just a reread? It's just a reread. So this is definitely gonna be one of them. I have 2 more in mind, and I actually just finished a book that I still have in my loans that I really want to fucking reread right now. So that one might actually spark it off, but this one's the one that's officially on my TBR. So, okay, let's get on to roll number 4. Roll number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Regular prompt. Set in the present. I feel like those didn't get shuffled all that great, but that's okay. Well, number 4 is set in the present. Funny how I got both of those prompts in one game, in 1 month. It's sometimes I feel like I don't shuffle my cards enough. Anyways, the book I'm going to read for this is Destined for an Early Grave by Janine Frost. I think this is book 4. Of, oh god, I don't remember the name of the series, but it's like the Spike Buffy-esque kind of series where there's this half vampire who hooks up with a really old vampire and goes vampire hunting, and then she starts working for the government and like craziness ensues. So very much a part of something that I love, urban fantasy / kind of romancy, but we're full on into the series and I cannot wait to keep going. So we are gonna do that in October, and it's like the perfect month for vampire-y, horror, urban fantasy things. So yes to that. All right, let's get on to, I think we're on to roll number 5. What are we on? Roll number 5 is a 6. Physical. Well, that also works for my challenge, so I don't know if I can double up on that, but I'm gonna try. So roll number 5 was a physical book. Now, if you know anything about me, you know how difficult that can be for me. And if you've been here for a while, which some of you have been, or if you've gone back through some of my old videos, you'll know I have had this book on my list quite a few times and I never seem to get to it. There's something about a physical book. I love physical books. I used to love physical books, but now they just seem so daunting and it hurts my hands to hold them. But it's gonna be Thirst Volume 2, at least the first book in this. This is a 3-book compendium and I need to keep reading it. This is also a childhood favorite, so it's gonna work for that other challenge too. And yes, vampires. She was born in, I think it was India, and met Krishna in the first book and the first vampire and got changed into a vampire. Now she's like one of the last ones there, except some shit happened in book 3, and so book 4 is where I'm starting on this because I need to get through it so that I can get to the new books. I need to get through to the blue books, but Christopher Pike doesn't have anything on audiobook, so I am gonna read it physically. Wish me loads and loads of luck because I suck at reading physical books here lately. Anyways, Thirst, Christopher Pike, Volume 2. It's back on my list, baby. All right, let's get on to roll number 6. Roll number 6. Audiobook, super easy for me. That's the majority of what I read. So roll number 6 is an audiobook. again, getting very similar prompts. Anyways, I have another thing on my holds that I've been wanting to read. It's also on my 22 before 2022 list, and it is a nonfiction book. It is The Year of Yes by, I think it's Shonda Rhimes? Yes, Shonda Rhimes. And this is like a self-help book. It's, you know, saying yes to opportunities and stuff like that. Something that I feel like is very helpful at this time of the year because I'm feeling pretty overloaded. It's time to start thinking about next year and planning, which I love to do. I am such a planner. Like, if I could procrastinate by planning things and replanning things, I will do it a lot of the time when my brain's tired. But anyways, this should be helpful for me, I hope. I really don't know what all the details are. Again, it's a self-help book. Hopefully I'll get some positivity out of it and some ideas for business in 2023 and maybe just life in general. All right, let's get on to it. It's hopefully our 7th and final roll. And what is our 7th and hopefully final roll? All right, it is. And I'm just moving one spot because that is my stop. Now that guy, which is a 4, and that is cover color. All right, our 7th and final roll, thank you, universe, is a color cover. So, or is cover, yeah, cover color. So I'm going to put my spinny thing, it should already be going. It really should be. And we're going to pick a book that has that color on it. And I got turquoise, which is a great color, by the way. If you couldn't tell, that is the color of my walls in my office. And okay, so I chose The Friend Zone by, it's Abby, I don't know how to say her name, Jimenez? I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. I read a book of hers previously, The Happy Ever After playlist. Or the Happily Ever playlist. I don't remember. I liked the book. It was really good. I think I gave it a 4 or 4.5. It was, you know, a traditional romance. And so immediately I went to see what else she had because I enjoyed the banter and the dialogue and the connection between them so much. And then I found this book. And so The Friend Zone is what I'm going to be reading. I don't need to know anything about it other than it's a contemporary romance and I liked the author last time. So I'm really hoping for some nice quirky characters, a little bit of seriousness, and a traditional romance to hit all of those plot points that a romance is meant to hit. I really like having that structure sometimes. I'm getting attacked by a kitty, by the way. Yeah, okay, honestly, this seems like a really good lineup, even though I have 2 physical books this time. Do I also have another book and I have a 3rd book that I'm gonna have to read with my eyeballs, so 3 books to read with my eyeballs is not very promising in that regard. However, I will also have other things going on in October that may or may not get in the way of this. So do wish me luck. I do forego any penalties for my birthday month, so if I don't hit all of these things, it's a present to myself that I will not be punished. All of my cats are circling currently. You might see one, ow, crawling up here because she is a turd nugget. She's a turd nugget. Okay, they're hungry. I'm gonna go feed them. The TBR is over. Please let me know if you've read any of these books, if you have any suggestions for me in the future, and let me know what you are reading in October in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for being here. Bye! By the way, I am totally sitting on my desk because I kind of got some new stuff going on in this room. I now have 3 desks in my room, so recording in front of my bookshelf's a little bit difficult now. I think we made it work. I really do. I think we made it work. Okay, bye.